I believe that Trump and Barack Obama will be running for president in 2008.
I, you know what? I'm not taking if that's a bet, I'm not taking it. I believe that. I believe that that could be the case.
First of all, I believe that the Democrats will actually assist in changing things so that either one of them could have a third term.
Yep.
I
I
believe
believe
they're
that.
going to be suckered into changing that law because they think they've got an actual chance with Barack. They think that's their only chance.
I
So
would right now, I would agree that is their only chance.
I hope that they think that. I
I think if you
I
ran
think he's their
Barack
best
Obama
chance.
against Trump, I think Trump would win. That's my
I think he
opinion.
would. I think he would win easily.
Yep. But I do believe that Barack Obama is their best option.
I agree with that
And I
too.
do believe, and you know, it was interesting. I was also thinking about this the other day because Trump came out and said, you know, they tell me there's other ways or something might happen to be able to run him for a third term, and he's being very serious about it. And somebody said, well, you really would have to change the Constitution in such a way to make that happen. Well, guess what?
They changed it to make it that.
Exactly, and my thought, and they were saying, well, no, the Democrats, there's no way everybody's going to agree to that. Oh, but if Obama came out and said, I'll run, oh, suddenly you're going to get the Democrats to go, oh, and then that's how it happens.
And everybody has a stake in this. You a lot of times the way something is covered is the way it is perceived. And I believe every news organization is going to, if they thought that they could have Barack Obama versus Trump, they're going to spin this in a way where it's going to assist in the citizens agreeing with it and it getting through Congress and the Senate and changing that law.
Yep.
I think there's a synergy with all of this.
And they could change it in such a way that it wouldn't fundamentally change the Constitution that much by particularly when it comes to Trump and Obama by simply saying that the limit is 8 continuous years in a row. So neither one of them would be disqualified. Obama, you know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't fundamentally change the rule. Like you couldn't be a president and serve 3 consecutive terms. However, if they changed it just slightly and were able to have non-consecutive terms, that would qualify both Trump and Obama. I agree with you. I see that happening. I can definitely see that happening.
So if something like that were to happen, are there like how would we protect ourselves from what we were originally protecting ourselves from when we said there'd only be, 2 terms? Like I'm thinking, and I don't know if this makes sense. I'm just spitballing this right out off the dome right now. I'm thinking that after you've won 2 terms, you can't run under whatever party you were. You have to run as an independent, and whatever party you were from has to have a new person run
Candidate.
for the party. Yes.
Yep, you could do that too. Which
I don't know if that makes any
obviously
kind of sense.
it totally makes sense. But I mean, Trump certainly and probably Obama could operate outside of their party as well. There's no question. Because like I said before, I would argue the Republican Party is gone. Trump took it over, hijacked it, whatever you want to call. The Republican Party is gone, and the Democratic Party might be more gone than the Republican Party at this point. They've got no leaders, they've got no organization, they've got no platform to speak of. They're all over the place. So I would say that they don't exist either. Not right now.
They are, if your game plan has always been as a baby, a baby's game plan is if I cry, I get a reaction. These 2 people in this house with me, when I cry, they run and they react to my every whim. When you decide, you know what, let them cry. They eventually stop crying, but it takes them a while. And this is what's happening to them. The Democratic Party, their whole thing has been basically whining about things, crying about things, complaining about things. And they're trying to do it now, but Trump has put them in a boat where it's like, that's the problem about you guys. So their strength has been turned into a weakness. It used to be, that used to be their strength. We whine about everything. And now them whining is literally detrimental to them.
And I've noticed that they're trying to latch on to every bit of glimmer of hope that they think they can get. Like yesterday or the day before, we had the those elections, the special elections in Florida and in where was it, Wisconsin or wherever. And they were like, well, the candidates that won, which by the way, they're Republicans, won both of them in Florida, but they said, well, they were down by way off of what Trump's numbers were. Well, of course they were, but if you put it in context, when there's a special election not on in a presidential year, of course their numbers are way down because nobody goes out to vote. So I mean,
and historically, there's a lot of exceptions, but historically, the off year of the presidency, these kind of elections usually goes to the opposing party.
Yeah,
they usually win, and that's my point.
Yeah.
So just to if you had eked out a win, let alone been like a big win, that's actually a big win. If you're
they didn't get any of that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, all they stood on was the Supreme Court that they held in Wisconsin or whatever. But that it was kind of predictable.